Welcome back. I have a new puree recipe for you. This one was highly requested. I know it's hard to get our little ones to eat their veggies, and these applesauces and stone fruit purees just seem so much more sweet to them. But we are going to be doing a veggie chicken puree that's super easy. We're talking about just a little time in some boiling water, and then you blend it up in your NutriBullet baby. It couldn't be easier. So the items that we need are chicken. This is organic chicken. Oh, let's see. Oops, so you can see that. And it's a small piece. Now the recipe calls for half a chicken breast, but since this is a small chicken breast, we're gonna use the whole thing. We need 2 apples. I go with Gala apples because they're not super sour or super sweet. They're kind of a nice, sweetness. And then the recipe calls for 2 small zucchini, but this one's pretty medium to large size, so we're just going to use 1. And then we need 2 cups of chopped up spinach. You try to take the little stems off, and that's it. This is basically everything that goes into the puree. I actually added some spices to it, like a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of parmesan, because I think it adds something extra to it, and my little guy really likes it. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we are going to cut this chicken breast in fourths, because I find that it boils down a little quicker if you break the chicken breast down. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in my roaring and boiling water now. You want to let it boil for 10 minutes before you add any of the other ingredients. So let's do that now. Hi, y'all. I wanted to come back and give you the Little Foodie recipe book. I actually was combing on Amazon looking for this exact type of book. And I love the name Little Foodie because I consider myself an adult foodie. And I wanted my little guy to experience some really cool recipes, something different from what you can get in the stores, little unique, expand his palate. And so this has been really great. Recipe today is actually originally from this book, and I tweak it a little bit, but the name of it is Superhero Green Puree plus Chicken. If you've been enjoying these recipes and these videos that I've made for purees, mommy me recipes, go ahead and subscribe. Now's your chance. I was going to drop once a week, but I've been dropping videos every single day. I'm also doing baby product reviews as well. Those have been really fun. And so, man, I think our timer just went off. So let's get back to it. All right, let's get to work. So for our zucchini, just cut the sides off. We don't need that. And I just go to town. I was really impressed with how much my little guy liked this recipe and how easy it was. It's literally just a little bit of prep work, and then you're boiling down the ingredients and you blend it up and you've got some really tasty puree. All right, so this is 6 months and up friendly. So your babies can eat it. Your toddlers will love it as well. It's pretty great. So I'm gonna chop these up into like 1-inch sections. That's all we have to do there. And since I'm making a mess, let's just move everything off the cutting board. All right, so this is my magical 3-cut for my apple. I cut the top, the bottom, and the label off. Super easy. Second time, cut the top, bottom, cut the label. Makes it really easy. Next, my power tool. Love this thing. Get all that skin off that nobody wants to eat. It's actually pretty good for you, but probably not so good for the babies. Let's see here. Perfect. All right. So we need our apples to have no more skin. Okay. Do, 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 do. And I loved that, this veggie heavy puree just needed a little sweetness from an apple to make it, yummy for my little guy. I think it's just the right balance of, veggies and fruit, which I absolutely love, and he does too. So, works out. Okay, take these cores out. You know what? Recently, I discovered a little trick. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a clean kitchen towel and put that down. And then put my apple down. Now, when you are coring your apples, if the core pours down onto something a little bit softer and not as hard like your cutting board, it actually gives you a cleaner cut. There you go. And it comes right out. That's what we want. So any tips and tricks that can make this easier, I'm always here for you to share what I've learned. All right, so we've got zucchini and apple slices. And here. All right. Let's wash these. Now, although a lot of these bags of spinach say triple washed, I think you should always wash them again. So let's do it. Okay, now that our spinach leaves are squeaky clean, put that here so it can drain off onto the towel. All right, time to chop them up. Now, usually I try to cut the stems off, but my little guy is 14 months plus. So I think he can handle a little bit of the stems at this point. And once they boil down, they're going to be really easy to digest. So shouldn't be a problem for him. But if your little one is 5 months, 6 months, I would probably take those stems off just to be safe. Now, I'm going to continue doing a nice rough chop. And we should be good. They don't have to be perfect because they're all going to get blended up in the NutriBullet baby blender anyway. And that's about 1 cup. That's what we want. Okay. And I think the recipe calls for 2 cups, but for my little guy, 1 cup is plenty. Okay. So that's pretty much everything. So we're waiting for our chicken to completely boil. After that 10 minutes, you go ahead and you put the remaining ingredients in the boiling water with the chicken, and then you let it boil for an additional 10 minutes. And once that's done, you strain all the water out, and then we're going to blend it up in our NutriBullet baby and get our puree, and I'll season it, and we'll be all set to go.
So it was at this very moment where my microphone decided to take a nap. So what I am going to do is continue with a narration for you. So at this point, I'm explaining that our items have just boiled down and they are ready to go into our NutriBullet baby to make a nice super greens puree. I do have some grated parmesan. I have some onion powder that I'll be sprinkling in there as well. So right now I am straining all of those ingredients, giving myself a steam facial, which is, a 2-for-1 situation. We're cooking, we're doing beauty. Um, I actually decided to just pour over about half of my food items that were boiled down into my NutriBullet Baby. It is a smaller blender. So the only disadvantage with that product is, you can only put so much in it. So I basically have filled it up about 3/4 of the way with some um, boiled down zucchini, spinach, apples. So I'm going ahead and filling it up 1/3 of the way to the height of the food with some bottled water. I put in my onion powder. I put in my grated parmesan. And I'm literally just doing like a sprinkle of both, not too much, just to give it a little extra flavor. I'm turning my blender on. This baby blender, if you have the right amount of liquid in it, it actually blends up really, really nicely. If there's ever a time where it's not blending properly, just add a little bit more liquid. Usually that's water, and that usually does the trick. I was very, very pleased with the color and the outcome of this puree. So I'm checking on it right now, and it's looking great. It's like a beautiful green color. So, before you feed it to your little one, you have to taste test. So I went ahead and gave it a taste, and it was yummy. I haven't actually made this puree for a while, so it brought back memories of when I first made it for my little guy, and he absolutely loves it. So well balanced, you really cannot beat it. So since my little guy doesn't exactly eat purees, I'm not spoon feeding him anymore. I'm trying to give him baby led weaned food items. So I'm actually going to use this puree recipe as a sauce, like a pasta sauce for him. It's going to be completely healthy sauce, and it's familiar to him because he's had it before. And I want to kind of help to introduce him to like a wheat pasta with a familiar sauce that he's had before. So I'm excited to give him that. But yes, this recipe actually is for 9 months and up, according to the author of the recipe book I got it from. So I wanted to make that correction. I said 6 months, but it's 9 months plus friendly. And that's probably because of the addition of the chicken within this recipe. And yes, so I'm hoping that, you give this recipe a try. And I'm obviously going to have to go back and blend up the rest of my ingredients. I'm deciding on doing half in the fridge, half in the freezer, because I probably only need about half to make his pasta. So I hope you try this recipe and enjoy. Bye.